As if I didn't need another reason to get incredibly hyped up about the Packers season starting. There was a couple of leaks in the Packers schedule that we're going to talk about and go over in this video. First, I would love for you to leave your comments and let me know of the primetime games, the Sunday afternoon game of the week, Sunday Night Football and Monday Night Football. Which would you prefer to watch the Packers in a primetime setting? For me, it's Monday Night Football. There's just something about the nostalgic feel about Monday Night Football that I grew up with. I love watching the Packers on Monday Night Football. Leave your comments. Let me know your thoughts there. Speaking of Monday Night Football, that is one of the leaks in the schedule, and the defending champions are going to be coming to Lambeau Field under the lights. A chance for the Packers to get revenge on a team that got the better of them twice last season. November 10th is going to be that game. This is going to be a playoff type atmosphere, week 10. I'm super pumped about it. Again, the full schedule releases Wednesday at 8 p.m., but this is just a teaser, and there's another teaser out there. The Chicago Bears and the Green Bay Packers, week 16. They seem to be playing against each other at the end of the season every year for the last 3 years. Saturday, it's going to be part of a doubleheader there. Now, whether it's going to be the earlier game or the later game, they're going to be playing Chicago, and who knows what type of implications that game has. But this game right here, I'm super excited about it. I'm sure you guys are as well, because the Eagles, if you remember, they beat the Packers in Brazil to kick off the 2024 season, a game in which they hurt Jordan Love's leg, and Jordan Love just really wasn't the same player, for a lot of the season. He missed a few games, just wasn't the same guy until the later in the year he started getting his form back. But it was almost too little too late, because then some other Packer players just started getting the injury bug, and then they faced each other in the wild card game of the playoffs, a game in which you listen to what Josh Jacobs said. Josh Jacobs like, listen, I feel like we're this close. We're just, a couple of moves away. We've got the Philadelphia Eagles number. We play them better than a lot of teams out there. If you look at film, I couldn't agree more with Josh Jacobs when he said that. And then you add another layer of intrigue when the Packers proposed the ban of the tush push this offseason, and they're expected to still have some further discussions on that in the next league meeting. But man, you talk about the hype behind this. It's going to be certainly electric. So if you have a chance to get to Lambeau Field to watch that game, that's certainly going to be a game you're going to want to watch live. It's going to be absolutely electric. So you talk about these two teams meeting up and matching. The Philadelphia Eagles have had the better of the two teams in recent years. But that being said, Philadelphia is not going to be the same look Philadelphia. Same thing with the Green Bay Packers when they meet up this year. What do I mean by that? Well, the key losses for the Philadelphia Eagles are Milton Williams. He was a plug in the defensive middle for them. He had a PFF score of a 70.1. That's going to be a big miss for this Philadelphia defense. And then, speaking of which, on the Philadelphia defense on the edge, Josh Sweat was one of those players that just dominated, in the playoffs. He just looked absolutely electric out there. 75.7 PFF score. I wanted him in Green Bay. That didn't happen. He's gonna be incredibly successful with Arizona. And then you got Darius Slay going to Pittsburgh. Now, Darius Slay is one of those guys that is, he's older, but he certainly has an impact at times. He's 34 years old. He had a PFF score of a 67.6. And then their key additions were A.J. Dillon. And then you take a look at the Packers' key losses was, A.J. Dillon, Josh Myers, T.J. Slayton, guys that we could afford to lose. But then some key additions for this Packer offensive line is Aaron Banks. So Aaron Banks, is there. Josh Myers is out. So then you're able to shuffle around some guys. And this Packer team, is going to be a different look, because we've also added Matthew Golden, one of those guys. And you've heard a couple of GMs out there saying that this is a guy that has super talent, and he's going to come in and instantly have an impact. Just like what you saw the receivers in last year's first round do, you're going to see kind of the same type of, I think, effect that this wide receiver core, the wide receivers that were taken in the first round of this year's draft, are going to have immediate impact on their teams. And then the Packers add Nate Hobbs And it's looking more and more likely that the Packers are probably going to be able to find some sort of resolution and restructure with Jair Alexander, which I couldn't be happier about. Yes, would I love to see the dude healthy and now in the football field? Who wouldn't? And if the Packers are able to restructure his deal, they certainly have the cap space to do that and to keep him. So, man, it would make complete sense for it to be, all of a sudden you've added Nate Hobbs and you got Jair, and if Jair's healthy, this Packer Philadelphia matchup is going to be absolutely incredible. I want you guys to leave your comments again. Which would you prefer, Monday Night Football, Sunday Night Football, or the game of the week Sunday afternoon? For me, Monday Night Football, and I can't wait for this Philadelphia matchup. And as always, go Pack Go.